Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar, What Can Salamander Do for You? My name is Julie Rolls. I am the training manager with PSA, and I'm moderating today's call. I have just a few quick housekeeping items before I hand it over to Chris Whitley, president of USAV, for an introduction of today's webinar. First, if you've not done so already, please mute yourself. If you happen to have any questions throughout the course of this presentation, please type them into the chat panel and we will have time for Q&A at the end of the presentation. If you happen to run into any technical difficulties, please type it into the chat panel and I'll do my best to get you back up and running as soon as possible. With that, I'm handing it over to Chris Whitley.
Thank you, Julie. Good morning, everybody. We're excited about this webinar and thank all of you for participating or viewing the recording afterwards due to time schedules. Salamander is a good partner of ours, relatively new, and I think Chris is going to share some things that you may not know about them. They've done a lot of stuff in the residential markets previous and now have a lot of good commercial lines and a lot of new technology in their furniture that's valuable to all of us. And at this point in time, I'd like to turn it over to Chris Toscato, the Director of Sales for Salamander, and he's going to walk us through what they can do for us and hopefully shed some light on some of the things they do that you may not know. So Chris, I'm going to turn it over to you now.
Great. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate the chance to give the webinar. So my name is Chris Toscato, Director of Sales. You can see my contact information on the screen here. What I'd like to do is just briefly go over a little bit of where Salamander came from, how we got into the commercial space, and then obviously go over our solutions, and then show you a little bit on the website where to find more information. So Salamander's been around for about 25 years. We've been known really throughout that time as making really beautiful but very technical furniture. I always say that we're as beautiful on the outside, I say like Ethan Allen, but as technical on the inside as any racking system would be. And how we got from our residential roots 25 years ago into commercial over the last 5 years is pretty interesting. So about 5 years ago, we went to Infocom and we just brought basically our residential furniture. We wanted to test the market. We wanted to see what needs we could fulfill out there. And we met Exxon, who was doing a deployment of new AV in conference rooms, and they loved our furniture. So we deployed about, I believe it was 200 cabinets to Exxon, and they loved it. Then they came back to us when they were looking at deploying the Surface Hub because they could not find any carts on the market that fit their needs. So we originally developed the line of carts I'm going to show you for Exxon for their Surface Hub deployment. What happened next was really nice is Exxon went to Microsoft and showed them the cart. Microsoft loved it so much that they ended up buying 300 of them along with our mobile road case to deploy their Surface Hub demos around the world. And that's really what launched us in a big way into the commercial space. And then we started to look at the furniture and you talk to integrators, and we added more and more features and accessories to solve the unique challenges that present itself in the commercial environment that don't exist in the residential. So that's how we, over the last 25 years evolved from mostly residential to this year will actually be, more commercial than residential with only 5 years in the commercial space. So, we've been blessed and actually humbled by working with some of the top companies in the world. You're really the Fortune 50, both on partnerships and deployments. And the reason why we've been able to do this with really actually no rep force until this year is because of the quality of work that we do and the way that we're able to work with all the stakeholders and create project-specific solutions, both from off-the-shelf parts that we have, so configured in a way that is unique to the needs of that company, or really going full custom, which I'll show you in a few slides, what we could do for complete custom furniture deployments, and make something that is very specific, for what they need. And then we do that all with short lead times and lifetime warranties. So, for example, a off-the-shelf configuration, which we build to order, generally ships in about 5 days from PO to shipping, which in the furniture market is unheard of. With lifetime warranties and something that we also call lifetime value, which I'll go over. Plus, we're manufactured in the States. We actually manufacture everything in Bloomfield, Connecticut, and in a 100% solar-powered facility. And not just solar-powered, but we also do things like use water-based stains. We're a row house compliant. We're a UL listed. We also are ADA compliant. So you do a lot of business with the government because of the fact that we're a U.S. manufacturer, and then also those companies that like to check the box of sourcing from a green manufacturer, they can check that box as well. So our customers generally are AV integrators and consultants, such as yourselves. We do go through some office furniture resellers, and then generally they'll bring us architects, interior designers, commercial facilities managers, especially for those larger or high-profile projects, and we'll work together with everyone to make sure that the aesthetic on the outside matches the needs of the gear on the inside. So we can really make the designers, executives happy, and also the AV integrators happy for what we can do as far as everything from ventilation to wire management and that sort of thing. Our markets, you bring into corporate, the government, military. I know there's a bunch of our carts you're rolling around the Pentagon, for example, and your construction, architecture, engineering. In education, it's generally higher ed because we are a premium product. So you generally K through 12, we are in some, but I would say most of that's private. Whereas the higher ed, we have a bigger footprint. And then over here, you can see some of the other companies that we've done business with, from United Technologies, 3M, GE. I already mentioned Exxon. Microsoft's a big partner of ours. Currently, we're doing a big rollout with Bank of America. So, the point being is that we can work with you, and you can feel comfortable with bringing us your highest profile customer, and we're going to make sure that at the end of the day, you look great as far as bringing us that customer. They're going to be incredibly satisfied and happy with what we provide. So working with us is pretty easy. All you have to do is you email us. You can email us custom@salamanderdesigns.com. You can also email me or give me a call. And we also have a commercial rep network as well, which you can reach out to. And if you need to know who your local rep is, you can just email me, chris@salamanderdesigns.com. But it's really easy. Whether it's a small job or a large one, we want to understand for your needs and what the challenges of the job are. And then we can create the perfect package for you, whether that's, just, again, most of the time it's off the shelf configurations that maybe need a little tweaking, or it's something completely custom. It all starts with just you reaching out to us. We'll listen to what you need, and we'll offer up the best solution for either a cart or a piece of furniture. So with lifetime value, which I mentioned before, it goes beyond a lifetime warranty. So lifetime warranty is something that, it's pretty obvious. If a wheel breaks on a cart 5 years from now, I'm going to send you a new wheel. But it goes beyond that. For example, our carts, they have a lot of accessories, which make it so that you can adapt that cart. The end user can adapt that cart as time goes on. For example, maybe you're deploying something where all the technology is built in to the panel, but then maybe 5 years from now, they deploy a different type of technology where they need an outboard processor or some more outboard equipment. So our carts, for example, can accept either 3 or 5 U's of vertical storage. We also have a storage cover for that. There's an optional 30-foot reel of power cable, also a networking cable as well. There's a wireless remote and a mount for both a speaker and also a camera. So the carts can be adapted as time goes on. We also have adapters for non-standard mounting patterns. So obviously the carts are compatible with any Visa pattern, but we do have adapters for the Cisco Spark boards, and we are working with Google on the adapters for the Jam boards. And we've already deployed some of these with the Jam boards in a one-off basis, but we'll have a standard adapter soon. On the furniture, it comes to the fact that you can reskin the furniture really easily. You can change out a door really easily. On the residential side, being there for 25 years, it's really not uncommon for someone to call us up, say, hey, I bought this piece of furniture about 10 years ago. I just moved, the movers damaged it. And we can send them the same door that they bought 10 years ago, which is, again, kind of unheard of in the furniture industry. Normally it would be something like, well, that was our fall 2007 collection and you're out of luck. But with us, it's really easy to keep a piece of furniture looking like new, whether it was bring your kid with a magic marker to work day and he drew on the cabinet, we can just replace the door. Or maybe a new executive comes in and he doesn't like the white cabinet that was originally installed a few years ago, but wants something more in a wood tone. You don't have to replace the whole cabinet, you can just reskin it. And then there's ergonomics and accessibility. So all of our carts, for example, are ADA compliant, but we also think about the person that is going to be moving this around. So when you look at the side of the cart, you'll notice that the wheels in the front and the back are connected through a like a part that pushes in and up. That means that you're not going to hit this bar as you're walking around. Most of the carts in the market really just have a bar that's about an inch off the floor that connects the front and back, and it's just straight. Also, what you notice with our cart is when you touch it and feel it, it's very obvious, but it's incredibly stable. When I talk to people about why they use our carts versus something else, because our carts are premium, they constantly say it's because of the ease of getting it around, the way it rolls, and how stable it is once it's being used. And you can really tell by the picture that this was a purposely built cart to do the job. Most of the other carts on the market, when you really look at them, they kind of look like a Home Depot weekend project. It's simple tubing with small wheels. It's just the minimum needed in order to get the job done, so there's something that is connected to it, that it won't fall over. Whereas ours is a premium product on the market that was specifically designed to be used around a corporate environment, with these panels, and overthinking really the needs of the end user. So demanding projects. So we understand that, especially for a larger deployment, shipping heavy pieces of furniture around the country, around the world, has its own challenges. So we can work, and our shipper can work with your project managers to make sure that these pieces show up at the right time. For example, one popular thing is for us to ship out the rack cartridges separately from the piece of furniture. And that furniture, sometimes, we know it has to show up to a place that has an elevator schedule. So we can work with all those things, whether it's across the country or across the world, to make sure that things show up when they need to show up. So there's a couple more slides on the carts. Here you can see, so this is an 84-inch surface sub on one of our electric lift carts. This is down, all the way, makes it easy, easy to move around, but also easy for someone that is shorter or someone in a wheelchair to use the panel. I always say that even if someone doesn't care about the electric lift aspect of it going up and down, when they're using it, I always say, especially if it's a larger panel, it's much easier to move a larger panel around if it's all the way down, because when it's all the way down, it's about 38 inches to the center of the screen, and then the electric lift can go all the way up to 60 inches center of screen. So it's very easy to get it from a moving around mode all the way up into presentation mode. All of our carts are also UL listed and ADA compliant. So then we have our tilt cart, which is very popular. So the tilt cart can go up to about a 70-inch panel. It says on the website 65 inches, but like this sharp new 70-inch panel can work with it fine. It's been a very popular solution. This piece goes all the way to tabletop mode, so it can go from completely vertical to completely horizontal. And then on the bottom right-hand corner there, you can see our road case. So the road cases have been very popular with anyone that needs to ship these around. Anyone that's renting them out. We've sold them to hotel chains where maybe they're going to have a couple of interactive panels that they're going to be using for rent out for meetings, and then they need a place to store it that's going to be safe afterwards. But these are the same road cases that Microsoft bought in order to ship their hubs around the world. So then we have our on-wall solutions. So these solutions solve some other problems that you find in the corporate environment. So first off, we have the wall stands. The wall stand can go up to a panel that's 178 pounds. What's nice about this is that all the weight is being transferred to the floor, so there's no wall reinforcement that's needed. All that's needed is to drywall anchor it into the wall so it doesn't fall forward, but the wall is not supporting any weight. It's all being transferred to the floor. Then we have our lift, our Easy Touch, which are lift and tilt mounts. So these are manual mounts, but they're balanced in such a way that with one finger you can easily move up and down up to a 90-inch screen. If the screen is 55 inches or less, you can also easily get it into drafting mode. And then the final product that is the low-profile cabinet. So these have been very, very popular. In fact, right now we're in a project for Make for America where you did a custom version of this, where we're going to be deploying about 22,000 of them over the course of the next 6 years into all their different meeting rooms. And the reason why these have been very popular, not only with Bank of America, but just generally, I'm shipping these every day, is because these also support all the weight of whatever panel you put on it without having to reinforce the wall. So, with this, they come completely assembled. You wheel it into the room, you drywall anchor it into the wall, you run all the wires up to the Modesty panel, and then you can easily, put a 300 to 400 pound panel, right on it without having to worry about any wall reinforcement. And then each bay gives you the opportunity to put all the gear that you may need. In fact, you can, rack up 3 U's per cabinet, and in about a week, we'll also have a 5 U racking as well. So you can do 5 U's per bay of these low-profile cabinets. But also, it helps with ADA compliancy. So as you know, anytime that you have a TV that comes more than 4 inches off the wall, you need something below it for ADA, for the blind, for their stick. So that way they know something's there and they can avoid it, because otherwise, they may hit it if it's coming off the wall too much. So with this, we sell these just as the cabinets without the integrated mount as well, just to, just for that ADA compliancy issue. In fact, we did a 24-foot run for someone in November where they had to get occupancy and they had a long wall full of screens. But this product really helps standardize deployments and also packages. So if you wanted to come up with a room package, if you base it around our low profile cabinet, you never have to worry about what that wall is going to be. So then we have our standard depth 22-inch and 30-inch deep credenzas. So these are credenzas that can have an integrated mount or not. If it does have an integrated mount, these are fully freestanding. So these can be freestanding. It can be up against a glass wall. If it is up against the glass wall, we can finish the back of it really nicely, so it looks good with anyone that's on the other side of that piece of glass. And we have a lot of accessories that can go in here, from hanging file folders to a refrigerator to a rollout rack. Lots of different options here, including the ability to cut in any sort of panels that you want anywhere on the top or the side. So for example, if you wanted to have an extra panel for connections around at the top, you would just tell us that cut in dimension, and then it would come ready for you to pop that in. So then there's truly custom. So for truly custom solutions, this is one example that we did for L Brands. So L Brands had a unique room where they had a ring of unified communications technology in the middle of this boardroom where everyone was sitting around it. They wanted to be able to see each other from over the top of all these panels, where there was 2 65-inch panels on each side and a camera in the middle, and then look down and see whoever was virtually present. On top of that, they needed the room to completely change once a year when the CEO came. So what we did is we designed this for them, which is based upon our low-profile cabinet, but with the ability to mount the panels lower. So this is something that we deployed for them late last year. And then since then, we've actually deployed a few more variants of this for other companies that once they see this presentation, they're like, oh, you know what, we have a need for this. So it's turning into something that has more legs than just one custom job, which is nice. Then this is something that we did for Nestle. So the Cisco MX product with this integrated stand, we're getting a lot of requests to do something different because the stand that Cisco provides, people seem not to like. So what we did is for them, and it's a product now that's just available. It's about $7,000 dealer cost. There's a 6-bay low-profile cabinet, and then it can support the weight of that dual panel, which is about 500 pounds, and again with no wall reinforcement. So they can wheel this in. When it's 6 bays, it does come in 2 separate packages that then get kitted together on the job site. So it's 2 3 bays kitted together with the integrated mount. And then again, there's no wall reinforcement. It gets toggleable to the wall. Any wires get run up through the modesty panel, and it's ready to be hung. So here's some shots from around the factory. And so you bottom there in the middle is Mike Babowicz. He's our lead engineer. Up top there with his hands up, that's Mike Arena. He's our production manager. And then to the left of him is Naz, who's one of our cabinet makers, does a lot of the custom staining, and also makes good lemon grappa, which is nice. So here's some shots of the furniture ready to be shipped out. So the furniture, shipping heavy furniture is a kind of an art form in and of itself. So all of our pallets are custom made to be about 2 inches bigger on all sides than the actual furniture. We also shrink wrap it to the pallets to be incredibly sturdy. So you can pick these pallets up on end, and the furniture is not going to fall off of it. But from time to time, things do get damaged. But even if a forklift goes right through it, we say, don't refuse it. Just simply, you take some pictures, maybe, notate it on the bill of lading, make sure the driver knows. But 9 times out of 10, all it is a panel or 2 that may be broken. So we can simply ship you a UPS, and you can get it back to looking like new within days. So that's one of the benefits of having a very modular system. So pre and post sale support, we're very easy to get in contact with. Pre-sale, we're willing to talk to you about any job, large or small, to make sure that you get exactly what you need. Post-sale, whether it's either like a little warranty issue, or maybe someone needs a new door because they damaged it. Again, just reach out to us very easily. So one thing about us is if you're doing anything in the unified communications or collaboration space, we from beautiful cabinets to the low profile cabinets, we have something that can make that deployment faster, easier, and look great. Interactive flat panels, again, from our low profile cabinets to our carts, and then rapid deployment of audio video. We're seeing a lot of this. Bank of America is one of them, where they want to refresh rooms. They want to do it quickly and without having to really overthink the structure of each room. So with our low profile cabinets or with our standard depth, they're able to standardize on a deployment and make that rapid deployment happen. Okay, well, that's it for the formal presentation. Again, here's my contact information on the screen, and I'll throw it back to Chris.
Actually, Chris, I did have a couple of questions that came in here. The first one is, do you have a standard SKU set, or are most of your products custom designed?
Well, that's a great question. And for that, what I want to do is just bring you to the website and show you something here. So if you go to salamanderdesigns.com/commercial, you'll find all the information here on all of our standard, carts right over here. So you can click on here, you can get spec sheets, you can download and see your technical drawings. But then for the cabinets, which I think the question is more referring to, right here, if you click on cabinets, you can see your credenzas and low profile. So, for example, if I go to credenzas, you'll see that there's a lot of standard configurations, and all these configurations can be easily modified. So, for example, if someone was to say, you know what, I really like this one, and they look at the accessories here, and they say, you know what, I need 2 pull-out rack cartridges. That's really easy. All you say is, I would like this model number, but with 2 pull-out rack cartridges, right? The same thing over here with the low profile is you could start with something that's either, maybe this is perfect and you just want to order this, or it's, you know what, I need the 5U vertical rack, or I want more of the 3U vertical racks, or maybe I want something with a camera, but over here there's 2 monitors with a camera on top. I want to talk to you about putting the camera in the middle. So those sorts of things aren't really custom. They're just we call it a custom configuration, but it's not custom like the L brands would be. There's no additional upcharge because we're just tweaking something, unless it's a little bit more labor or there's a little more parts, like if you want more vertical racks, things like that. But I always find it very easy to start here with something that's pre-configured, and then if it needs to be tweaked, tweak it from there.
Okay, great. Another question, what is your channel strategy? Do you sell through distribution?
Yes, we sell through both directly and through distribution. For distribution, one of our great partners is Almo, which I know is also a member of USAV. And we also have a dealer program through USAV that can also then run through Almo as well, which is nice. But we are also in Tech Data, Synex, and Ingram Micro.
Okay, great. One more question. From a control perspective, what technology is embedded in the product? IR or RF?
Well, there's no control. Well, for the carts, the optional remote is RF. For our cabinets, we do offer a IR repeater system. So if you weren't going to be integrating your own control system, you can get the IR repeater system. It's about $100 retail, and so for any of those times where you need that, we have that available.
Great. Chris, can you pull up that the slide with your contact information on there so
Absolutely.
that the audience can see that? So it looks like that is all of the questions that we have for today. If anyone would like to review this presentation again or would like to pass it along, we will have a recorded version of it posted soon. You can find it by visiting psasecurity.com/education. Thank you very much to Chris Descato of Salamander Designs. Chris's contact information is posted here for any questions you may have after this presentation. Please visit our website. It's psasecurity.com. Be sure you're leveraging all that PSA has to offer. On our homepage, you can access our future webinar events, this recording, educational offerings, and business solutions. This will conclude today's presentation. Thank you again to Chris Descato, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.